Welcome back to Avillion and Brayden Talks. We've got content this week.
We got it.
We've got some stuff we could talk about. We've got something happened that we were hyping up for a while. We were talking about for a while. We made predictions of a little bit. But before we get into anything like that, first, this is Avillion Talks.
Hi.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm getting over something right now. I think some allergies or head cold or something. But been congested, been coughing. Today's been better than most days. But um, overall, I'm doing really well. I had me a nice weekend. I had me some wangs on day 3 of the draft.
I had wings day one,
And
first round.
yeah, in fact, I actually had DoorDash gave me 60% off for 3 orders. I'm not even gonna lie to you, I ordered food all 3 days. 60% off. I'm taking advantage.
Might as well.
Yeah, that's that. They're giving that shit away. So, so that was good. That was good. I was eating well for the 3 days, and um, then my girlfriend came over Saturday night. Sunday we went to my mom's house, and yesterday we went to Dave and Buster. It was good. It was fun. Excuse me. So, been doing well since then.
I love me some like ticket winning type of places. You know, Dave and Buster's, Chuck E. Cheese, Main Event.
Yeah,
Love them.
I'm down. But that's about it for me. What you got going on, sir? You said before the
I
pod, you
teased
got
a little
for
something.
the
We'll get
check-in.
into it. We'll get into it.
So
Before we get into anything,
crack it open.
Minier. This is like the.
I was gonna say that's the smaller can.
It is. So let's see what type of pop we can get with this. All right. Shh. If I can get in. Oh, my nails are. Hold on. Let me.
It's still pretty good.
Still pretty solid.
I can live with that.
Maybe it's not the size that matters.
Maybe it's about the motion in the ocean.
All right. Let me start off with the YouTube update that I've kind of been doing weekly because big boom on the channel. Because I had hit 500 subs. I think I talked about that last week because it happened a week ago.
Happened a week ago.
Within a week, I hit 600. I'm currently at 612.
We're going to be closer to 2K than we are to 500 by the end of the year. I'm telling you, I am going to be more correct. Even if we don't hit 2K, I'm going to be more right than you were.
It's looking good. And
looking
it's
very
it's
good.
because of one video and the shorts that I made from it. Every Gen 3 Pokemon and what they're based on.
Damn.
Third part in the series I've done, Gen 1 and 2 so far. It's each one is done better than the last.
Okay, so Gen 4 is gonna go crazy.
Let's temper expectations.
Nope.
Don't want to get bummed out, but I did get multiple comments saying like can't wait for the next one. This is like the first video that's like I've seen multiple comments across the shorts and the video itself being like can't wait for the next one.
The people have spoken.
And I was like, oh shit! Literally today during work, like because I have to drive around a lot, but I just joined. I'm gonna get into my job in a second. But I'd have to drive around a lot. But since I just joined, I'm not driving in the vehicle, so I'm driving passenger. I literally I was already starting to type it up, starting to write up the script. It's gonna be a quicker turnaround between because one and two, I was like, these are good ideas that are easy to make. I can keep in the back pocket. Now it's like I should make this.
You should make
I should make this. This video, it's 3 days old, has 1.2 thousand views. And if you could see the graph, hold on. There's a noticeable little bump in there. And it'll say 1.2 thousand views more than usual.
Shit. I was trying to tell you something.
And I also got multiple comments saying like nice voice. Like listening to the voice. You have a good one comment specifically was like you have a great voice for YouTube. Which was great to hear because my voice is like not the biggest, but like a slight insecurity of mine. Like I don't actually like which is like common, but like I can identify a little bit more of what I don't like about it than maybe others besides just not the vibe.
I think it's common because your voice sounds different to others than it does to you because you don't hear the way your voice sounds unless you like cup your ears or some shit.
Yeah.
It's or like when you listen to it in a recording. your voice sounds different to everyone else than it does.
But I always just thought I had like a higher pitched voice than I wanted, and then like I hear it in video and I'm like, I guess not, but like I don't know. I think it's when I get excited, or when
Yeah.
if I have a nice clean laugh, dude, it gets girly, dude. Like that's not even me being hard on myself. I'm being dead serious. It gets girly, which ain't nothing wrong with that.
Shit happens.
But yeah, so that was dope, man. I had a fucking great time for the YouTube wise of just like, oh shit. Because the shorts, because that's what really, like, I mean, the video itself did really well, got me a bunch of subs, but, like, some of the shorts, like, one of them is at 9.4 thousand views. It's definitely my most viewed anything right now. Over 381 likes it has. And then another 8,000 view one. A couple of these are at, like, 2,000. Like, fucking great.
Going hard.
It went crazy. Like I expected when I did this, I was like, I'll keep making these, but I expected Gen 1 to do the best because it's Gen 1. Fucking Gen 3 fans, stand the fuck up.
Gen 3 does have a very rabid fan base.
It clearly,
Sorry.
and there was a couple jokes in there that people commented on they liked because I did like CDOT and I was like Acorn and I showed like the quickest frame of like Acorn Cop, and people really resonated with that joke. But anyways, that's it for the YouTube stuff. Good shit. But my job. So I started my job. I've done it for like this is like week 2. What's nice about it is that there's a gym right across the street from the shop. So during my hour lunch, I work out. And I take microwavable meals with me, so I'll do like a quick 30-minute workout, then eat. So I feel like I'm saving time in like a great way. And I'm hitting like a click because it's like it's a nice gym. So that's going great. But I have been paired up with this one dude who dropped maybe the worst coworker. I don't even want to call it a take belief I've ever heard. And I don't mean like, ha ha, this is bad. I mean like, I'm looking at bro different.
Oh, yeah.
This man said he doesn't think grooming is real.
Why would you just admit that?
We were talking about Kendrick versus Drake, the little rap beef going on.
I was
This
just
man,
Euphoria a second ago.
Euphoria. I heard it. I was listening.
Oh my god, it goes.
He got him.
He
But
got his ass good.
Cause I said like, yo, Kendrick's got more in the tank. He hasn't. I was like, he hasn't even really brought up like the grooming allegations. And this guy who's Team Drake, shockingly,
Of course.
was like, I don't even think that's real. He said if he said he doesn't think it's real, and then he said if he was Drake with all that money and power, he said like, yeah, I could camp out for a year. Brother, what? I was like, I was like kind of speechless just looking at him, and I was like, that's not okay, dude. And he was just he kept doing the fucking people don't like it, but this is what I think pose type shit. And I was like, what the fuck?
I have a follow-up.
I think that's pretty much all I have to say.
I have a follow-up because in terms of now there's like this is a two-parter.
Okay.
Part 1, I was we had to solder something at work, but what we were soldering had like these when you solder with it, there were some fumes, so we had to do it under a hood. So we had to go to a certain part of the building to do it, and we're doing it on a hot plate, waiting for the hot plate to heat up. It takes like half an hour for the damn hot plate to heat up. So we're just sitting there shooting the shit, and my opinion of this guy was pretty good.
Same. He said this. I didn't mention that. I was fucking with bro before this.
Yeah, I was fucking with bro. This is the guy that trained me. We were talking. We were just shooting the shit. And then he tells me about how he used to be a Lyft driver, and he would, like, at nighttime, decline any men needing a ride, only accept the women, in hopes that they were drunk, so that he could try to sleep with them. And he laughed after saying, like, this was just cool. Like, this was cool. This was just something you could just say. Like, this is normal. This is fun. I did not look at bro the same way after that, because that is.
Did he ever mention having any success with that?
No, he did. I don't think he did. So I feel like that's something he would have mentioned. But
yeah, he probably would have gloated, given everything else he said.
Part two. This guy. I came into work on a Monday. My boss told me, hey, coworker is sick. He's got COVID. He's gonna be out. He'll come back next Monday. Okay. Um, I get to lunch that day. Another former coworker who actually just got a new job sat down with me at lunch and he goes, "Yeah, it's bullshit. He doesn't have COVID. He's in legal trouble because he bought alcohol for an underage girl at a bar."
When you say underage, under
And
21 or under 18?
I don't think it's probably one of those venues you can't get in unless you're 18. If I had to guess, so I would imagine
Bad
18, 19,
regardless.
20. Regardless, it's not like regardless. He was 34. This is predatory. Like this is not only that, like you're damn near twice her age. What are you doing looking to hook up with an 18, 19, 20-year-old age at 34? Go find a 30-ish year old woman. What are you doing? Late 20s, whatever floats your boat. What are you doing with an 18-year-old, 19, 20-year-old if you're 34? Especially this guy had a kid too. Like ridiculous. But yeah, so he got arrested. I think he's in jail now, and he never came back to work. So eventually, after like 3 weeks, they just fired him. Um,
Yeah.
just we got the email
I
that he
had
was let go.
I had one coworker who I really liked, who like after I'd worked there, I kept in touch with some of the other like another coworker,
Mm-hmm.
and he told me he was like, yeah, he like because this was Olive Garden, we're working in the kitchen. He was like I think he was 28, and he did something with a female who was 16.
Oh, brother.
And he has 2 daughters, and we were like, "Come
Oh my!
on, how do
the
you?"
fuck do you have a daughter and you're messing around with girls? That's insane.
Because usually, like
That's
when you
insane.
hear about people having kids, or that by itself, usually they talk about how that changes them. Like men having daughters, you hear about certain guys being like, "I saw the world differently,"
Yeah.
and he's like, "Nah, I don't think." Because I think he was paying child support, but I don't think he was too involved with his kids.
Oh, brother.
It's just like Jesus. You hear that, and you're just like, damn, he seemed cool, but he's actually
Well,
just a piece of shit.
and it really makes you wonder, like, how many of these men are actually out here walking around? Because I guarantee the number is higher than we think. For sure, the number is higher than we think. I mean, not that there's like a bunch of guys acting on this shit, but there's definitely guys that are like, like the I don't think grooming is real
Yeah,
type
I don't
shit.
know, but the thing
That's
is,
more popular than we think.
I don't think it's more popular than we think because I think they say it.
I
They're
mean,
idiots.
like,
They say it. They're dumb.
yeah, but I mean, like in terms of like people you just know casually, like you don't get to talk to them much. Like, there's a lot of people that you maybe feel neutral about. Like, if you got to talk to them more, you'd be like, ooh,
Yeah, maybe.
I can't believe you just said that out loud. Like, I'd hear shit at my last job. Guys that I had known for months at this point because I've been working there for months. I'd be in the break room. There's a bunch of people in the break room. It's just a full house, and they're talking about whatever. And then you hear them just say something nasty about women, and then it's like, oh, I can't believe you
I
just said that with your whole chest. Like,
I think it also could be slightly an age thing, as it's just been
definitely,
talked about more.
yeah,
I just think people like guys our age have just heard that stuff so much more that they've been kind of exposed to it a little bit more, and hopefully don't think that. Obviously, there's still going to be some that are, but
yeah.
I think,
No, I'm with you. There's
yeah,
a generational effect here
yeah.
for sure.
Unfortunately, not a generational cure, but I think
No,
I think there's a gap.
yeah, I'm with you.
Luckily, we'll see. I think we will see some of that stuff drop off.
There will be a decline in a lot of this shit. I think within the next like 20 years or so, especially as we have kids.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, still, it's.
But that shit is always just crazy because you're like, what did I do that make you think this was cool to tell me? Like, what
Yeah,
vibe am I giving to where you were like, yeah, he'll
that's what I'm saying. Where did I establish that level of trust? To where
the
you feel like
trust,
you
and
can
it's
tell
just
me
like, why do you
something so
think I'd
disgusting.
agree or fuck with that idea?
What inclination did I give you that I do something similar? I sure hope I'm not giving off the vibe that I'm trying to pick up women, drunk women, uh, in Ybor on a Friday night. Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Lyft needs to start flagging drivers who are only picking up if they keep
Yeah,
declining.
I
Then
was like, that's something they should be keeping track of. And if you're only picking up one sex, like that's a red flag.
yeah,
Especially if you're only doing it at a certain time of day. If it's like 2 a.m., that's your hours of operation. That's it. And it's only women. And
Arrest
it's
that
only
man.
Friday and Saturday night. Check his computer. Check his fucking computer.
That ain't no goddamn photo album.
Nope. We got off on a bit of a tangent here. Should we talk about the draft now?
Yeah. I figured we'd start with, because we did some mocks.
We did do some mocks.
We did some mocks. So we could talk about. I can just quickly. Here's the older mock. This is the one we did first.
Mm-hmm.
I could quickly breeze through the picks we got here.
Mm-hmm.
So 101, Bears, Caleb Williams, check.
Check.
The second pick, Washington, Drake May.
Nope.
Nope.
No dice.
The third pick, Patriots, Jaden Daniels.
No.
Swap them around. You know, it's not like a far off thing.
We had the 3 quarterbacks going in the top 3.
Yeah. Number 4, we have the Cardinals with Marvin Harrison Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, with a trade, we had the Vikings come up for JJ, which they did trade up for JJ, but it was up 1 pick. Giants, Malik Neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
Check.
Cooked on that one.
Number 7, Joe Alt.
Wow, 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 wow.
Right position.
Right position. Well, actually, no, because the Chargers drafted a left tackle to play right tackle, and the Titans drafted a right tackle to play left tackle. Why the fuck didn't the Chargers just draft a right tackle to play right tackle? The Titans just draft a left tackle to play left tackle.
I would just get, if I was the Chargers, I would just get Joe Alt in the building.
Well, yeah, no, I agree. I wholeheartedly
And, I mean, Rashawn Slater is that guy, but you just get the talent in the building.
It's funny that the Chargers are drafting a left tackle with the intention of converting him to right tackle, and then 2 picks later,
No, it's definitely funny.
A right tackle with the intention of converting him to left tackle. But Latham did play left tackle in high school. I don't know if Alt has any. Actually, no, Alt I don't think does have right tackle experience because he came to Notre Dame as a tight end. I think he's only played left tackle since he got there.
Number 8,
Mm-hmm.
Falcons. Laiatu Latu. Was the first defensive player taken.
That was a big read. Big read. Not until pick 15, but yeah, big read.
Rome to the Bears.
Which I think we did in both mocks.
Well, we won't spoil it. The Jets took Brock Bowers. No.
Not the greatest pull in the world.
At 11, the Chargers took Talise Fuaga. Who did he go to? Did he go to the Saints in the actual?
Saints. Yeah. Saints.
At 12, I was adamant about this one. Broncos took Bo Nix.
I should have known. Sean Payton couldn't help himself.
That's what I because I had because in this one I had the even numbers. You had the odds in this one.
Yeah.
Because the first one we had our own teams. But yeah, I was just like, Sean's gonna do what Sean wants, especially because they didn't have a 2nd-round pick. That was also the deciding factor for me.
Yeah, that makes a lot. Well, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But I also think they could have traded back. Like, who the fuck else was gonna take Bo Nix?
If you tell me the Raiders, I'll buy it, but who knows?
I think I buy that they were in on Penix. I don't buy that they were in on Nix.
I could see them just going, fuck it, give us a quarterback, please. And if Saints. Fashanu.
Mm-hmm.
15. Cooper DeJean.
DeJean.
I wish this had happened.
Didn't go until pick 40, I think.
Yeah. We'll get into it. I fucking really wish Cooper didn't go to the fucking Eagles. Because that's my fucking king. Yeah. It's my sweet white prince. He gets to play for my division rival. You know what? White guys can't be corners. But anyways, Dallas Turner to the Seahawks. They got Byron Murphy.
They did get Byron Murphy.
So.
Dallas Turner went 1 pick later at 17 to Minnesota. So we actually weren't too far off there.
On his range, yeah. We had Nate Wiggins go to the Jags at 17.
He went at 32 to Baltimore.
This one has Byron Murphy going to the Bengals.
That's what we did. Okay.
Yeah. Jerzon Newton going to the Rams at 19. He had a bit of a fall.
36ish, or he was the pick right after Rook, I think.
Yeah.
Like 35th or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he went to the Commanders, unfortunately.
Gold jacket. Yeah.
Where am I? Terry and Arnold went to the Steelers here at 20.
He didn't last too much longer than that.
No. Dolphins took Graham Barton.
He went 26th.
Yeah. 22, the Eagles took Kool-Aid McKinstry. At 23, the Chargers, because they had the double, Brian Thomas Jr.
Ooh,
Trades around happen. What pick did the...
I think he went it was like 25th or something.
Yeah.
So that's right around where Brian Thomas went.
At 24, Troy Fautanu went to the Cowboys.
Yep.
Jared Verse at 25 to the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson Powers Johnson went to the Bucks. You were right, because I'm assuming they're gonna have him play center, but you were right about position.
Yeah, he's gonna play center, almost guaranteed.
Here's where we had J.C. Latham go at 27. Tackle.
Well, we got the 7
to
right.
The Cardinals.
I got the 7 right. The 7 is correct.
A.D. Mitchell, 28 to the Bills. That was another. People could have seen him out of the second, but I think still where he went, and maybe some people who went before him.
People thought he would have,
yeah. So he was
the 11th receiver taken, and he was a consensus top 5 wide receiver.
Yeah, I saw him as some people's number 4.
Yeah, people had him above Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah. Listen to Chris Ballard talk about A.D. Mitchell.
Oh my God, it's incredible.
Great rant. Love that rant so much.
It's gonna fire you up.
Jordan Morgan at 29 to the Lions. What was the reasoning here? What position were you thinking here?
He could slide inside the guard.
Yeah.
Also, Taylor Decker's getting kind of old.
Here at 30, we had Amarius Mims go to the Ravens.
Okay.
Tyler Guyton went 31 to the Niners.
Who went 29 in real life, right?
Yeah. 29.
To Dallas.
Which we'll talk about. And then 32, Xavier Worthy to the Chiefs, so right team.
Yep.
So let me just do a quick count on this first one of just the right team and player.
I think I said Baltimore got Nate Wiggins at 32. It was not 32. 30. I'm tripping.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Caleb right. We got. Let's just do player. Let's just do player team. So Caleb, Marvin Harrison, JJ, Malik, Rome, Bo Nix. That might be it.
I think that's it.
Oh, and then Xavier Worthy. So we got 7 correct pairings.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's this other one quickly. Caleb Williams, Drake May, JJ. That was this. Or JJ at 3. Yeah, this was different. So they traded up to 3 to get him. Oh, this one's actually more different than I remembered.
This one's wacky.
This one is wacky. I forgot how wacky.
Yeah.
So Caleb Williams went 1. Drake May went 2. The Vikings traded up to 3 to get JJ. Cardinals went Malik Neighbors over Marvin Harrison Jr.
I bought him to the smoke screen. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, and then the Chargers took Marvin Harrison Jr. Giants took Jaden Daniels. Titans took Joe Alt. Falcons took Dallas Turner. We thought they'd go D-line both times.
I really did think Dallas Turner would have been the pick if it wasn't Michael Penix.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Well, we'll probably hear some reports and rumors of what they might have done out instead. Yeah. We went Brock Bowers to the Jets again. Patriots at 11 get Fashanu. So that's the right spot.
Yep, 11th overall, Fashanu.
That was the right spot. So yeah, the Broncos went Latu. Raiders take Fuaga. Saints go Brian Murphy. Colts go Quinyon Mitchell. Seahawks go Graham Barton. Jags go Terry and Arnold. Bengals get J.C. Latham. Let's see. Rams take Troy Fautanu. Steelers get Brian Thomas Jr. Dolphins get Jerzon Newton. Eagles get Cooper DeJean.
I do remember mocking Cooper to the Eagles at 22.
So we did get that.
And it did actually happen, just way later than I thought it would.
Lad McConkey goes 23 overall to the Patriots.
We did actually get a white boy in the first round. It just wasn't Lad McConkey. It was Pretty Ricky.
Yeah. Marius Mims goes 24 to the Cowboys.
Okay.
Tyler Nubin goes to the Packers. Jackson Powers Johnson to the Bucks again. Jared Verse to the Cardinals. A.D. Mitchell again to the Bills here.
Mm-hmm.
Kool-Aid to the Lions. Nate Wiggins to the Baltimore Ravens.
Big Reed.
Big.
Big Reed.
That one would be you.
Avillion there. Yep.
Bo Nix goes at 31 to the Patriots. And then Patrick Paul, 32 to the Chiefs.
Where did he go again? I know he went round 2.
Let me look it up.
Was it
Patrick Paul, Dolphins.
Dolphins? Okay.
Okay, so for this one we got Caleb, Rome.
Mm-hmm. Technically Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper. I was gonna count him.
Wiggins. That might be it.
I think that's it. So we got worse as the draft got closer.
In all fairness, most people's mocks look like shit.
I think we were just having. I just think we were having more fun on this second one.
Well, and also like again, process I think matters a little bit more in terms of like, just looking at it because like, I mean, who knows? You know, if a team would have taken a player had their guy they ended up getting not been available,
yeah,
or had that player like if a player went earlier than we thought, maybe they would have gone to that spot if they were available. You know what I mean? Like, shit happens. But I mean, most mocks don't end up looking pretty good. I think if you end up with like 8 correct picks in the first round, that's an incredible hit rate. That's 20.
We got 7.
We got 7, then we got 4. So we got a 12.5% hit on the next one.
Okay. So then I'm going to quickly name the first round, like the actual first round here.
Yeah.
So we went Bears, Caleb Williams. Washington, Jaden Daniels. Patriots, Drake May. Cardinals, Marvin Harrison Jr. Chargers, Joe Alt. Giants, Malik Neighbors. Titans, J.C. Latham. Falcons, Michael Penix Jr. I think we can discuss this one. There's discussion to be had here.
There's
ton of philosophy talk you could have about how you build a team. Anyways, Bears, Rome. Vikings did get JJ. The Jets, Wet Fashanu. Broncos, Bo Nix. Raiders, Brock Bowers. Saints, Fuaga. Colts, Latu. Seattle, Byron Murphy. Vikings traded up again to get Dallas Turner. Bengals, Amarius Mims. Rams, Jared Verse. Steelers, Troy Fautanu. Dolphins went Chop Robinson. Eagles, Quinyon Mitchell. It was 23, so we actually had the right slot for Brian Thomas Jr. here, I think, in one of the mocks.
Maybe.
I think we did. I just closed him. I'm pretty sure it was 23 in one of the mocks.
Oh, yeah, because the Chargers
yeah.
took from 23, and then the Vikings moved from 23 to 17 to get Dallas Turner.
So we had Brian Thomas Jr. in the right slot for one of them. That's 2 players, wrong team, right slot.
Yep. Fashanu
is the other one. Terrion Arnold to the Lions. Packers went Jordan Morgan. Bucks went Graham Barton. Mm-hmm. The Cardinals went Darius Robinson. Chiefs, Xavier Worthy. Cowboys, Tyler Guyton. Ravens, Nate Wiggins. Niners, Pretty Ricky. And then the Panthers traded back into the first round to get Xavier Legette. Okay.
Local guy as well. Xavier.
Do we want to start with just talking about our teams?
I'm down.
You can get started here talking about the Titans.
Well, I did say fuck at my TV when the pick was announced because
I knew you would.
As I have made it clear previously,
Mm-hmm.
my thoughts on J.C. Latham. I have said I do not believe he has the foot speed necessary to play tackle in the NFL. However, let it be known that Hall of Fame offensive line coach Bill Callahan disagrees with me. He obviously knows better than I do, and I'm not going to completely abandon my eval, but I do feel better about the pick knowing that he was Bill Callahan's favorite player in the class. And also hearing him talk afterwards helps a lot too. Like this guy is built for radio, like JC Latham, great speaker. Also has a ton of aura, which scares me as an offensive lineman because I kind of don't want my offensive lineman to have aura. JC Latham's got aura, so scares me a bit, but that's also kind of exciting. But seems like a good dude. I would definitely have a beer with him. Um, and I feel better about the pick. Like I warmed up to it after it happened. The one that scares me a bit still, Tavondre Sweat at 38. Now, people acted as if this was an absurd reach because people were looking at the consensus board rankings. But what people didn't take into account is that he moved way further back on the consensus board after the DWI. Prior to the DWI, he was a lot higher up on the consensus board because everybody agreed for the most part he was a good player, and he is a good player. But
I have a blurb right here talking about Tavondre Sweat, kind of about what you just said. Sweat's tape was good enough to rank inside my top 35 players during the season, but concerns over his weight management and a recent DWI arrest had teams reevaluating his stock.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the season, when you're just watching him play ball, had him pretty high.
Now, there is some Isaiah Wilson PTSD here with Tavondre Sweat. With that being, like, again, couldn't keep the weight down during the season. He was playing at like 380, 390 pounds, he admitted at some point. Damn near 400 pounds.
Big boy.
And but I do want to point this out in terms of if people are worried that at his weight he might not be a 3-down player because of like load management shit because he's gonna be fatigued. He had more snaps than Byron Murphy this year. And I know Texas likes to rotate their defensive line, but I do want that to be known. Tavondre Sweat had more snaps than Byron Murphy. Tavondre Sweat had over 500 snaps. So it's not like he couldn't stay on the field even with almost 400 pounds. He was on the field. And he's a good enough pass rusher for you to be able to keep him on the field on third down. Especially the Titans are thin enough on the D-line. It's literally just Jeff Simmons. Sebastian Joseph is not a pass rusher. And the depth isn't super inspiring. Like, he's got to stay on the field for pass rushing situations. And obviously, guy's a great run stuffer. There's not a whole lot needs to be said there. And now he does have, Callahan did mention there is a weight restriction. Like, he will have to be at around like 350-ish, I think, or 355-ish. Like, there is a weight he will have to maintain. Like, they're on him about, like, he's going to have to maintain it during the season better than he did at Texas. But the Titans did a ton of homework after picking him, and they felt good about it. They felt good about their eval, and they stuck with it. And props to them. I hope it works out. And obviously, I'm not going to hope for somebody to fail after he gets drafted to my team. So, and I like Tavondre Sweat prior to the DWI anyways. But that's the pick that scares me the most. It's definitely my least favorite pick that we made, just because that's one where it's like, you know.
You dislike it more than the JC?
Like I said, I warmed up to the Latham pick a lot.
Yeah. Figured you would.
Excuse me. My favorite pick, pretty easily, Cedric Gray at 106. I think he's going to start day one because we're thin at linebacker. It's Kenneth Murray, who will start in some capacity, but he is definitely not a give him the green dot and let him call the plays kind of guy. He is a pin his ears back and let him just go head hunting kind of linebacker. Whereas Cedric Gray he was a captain for 3 years in high school and then 2 years in college, and was a 3-year starter. All 3 years in college at UNC, he was a starter, and good enough athlete, not like incredible, but rangy enough, and communicated the plays, I want to say, for UNC. And as soon as he was drafted, they were asking, they held the press conference after the pick, and they were asking about the green dot, and Rand Carthon laughed as soon as the reporter mentioned it. I knew that question was coming. He was excited to answer it. I think he's going to start day one opposite Kenneth Murray, and I think he's going to be a pretty good player. And I had actually mocked him to the Titans several times in mock drafts that I did. So I was very happy to see that happen. That was a big pull for me, and was a player I really wanted. So very excited to see him there. After that, it was Jarvis Brownlee Jr., who is definitely Denard Wilson's type at corner. Very physical, just beat the shit out of him at the line kind of guy. He likes playing in the nickel and he likes playing outside, so his positional versatility. And regardless, he's CB4, and if anybody goes down, he's taking their spot. If it's on the outside, he's going to play outside. If it's McCreary that goes down, he's going to play nickel. So you now have a backup at both corner spots that you trust. So that's a good pick for me. I was quite fond of it. And then there's Jaquan Jackson, who was Tyjae Spears' roommate at Tulane, and could
I
start
wonder
at
if they've
both
ever
return.
kissed.
God, I hope so. Could start at both return spots. He's a pretty fast player. Not the most like agile guy. I want to say his agility testing wasn't incredible, but also not a very big guy. I think he's like 5'9", but runs a 4.42. Played punt returner and kick returner in college. Only had 2 muffs this past year, but in his career does have 6 muffs. So for a fan base that is tired of seeing muffs, I hope like the Titans fans sure do seem to be crowning him as a starting returner very quickly. Um, I'd give that a second because ball security matters at that position. We've seen it time and time again the last couple of years from Kyle Phillips, unfortunately, but not even just from him. We've seen it from anybody we've tried it back there. So hopefully that works out well. But hopefully he has to clean that up. But also a nice probably a backup slot receiver as well to start off. But could definitely start on special teams. So could be an impact player. And then, excuse me, we had 2 picks in the 7th round. We had James Williams, who is a safety that's going to convert to linebacker, going to play special teams. And then, I forget his first name. His last name's Harrell. He's an edge rusher for Michigan.
Jalen Harrell.
Jalen Harrell. And another special teamer. He's got a long way to go as a pass rusher. But, he'll play special teams, I'm sure, if he makes the team. And in general, there are some key contributors here. We got our starting left tackle. We have a starting nose who's going to be in pass rush situations as well. I think presumably, if not day one, he's going to start by the end of the year at linebacker. Maybe Jack Gibbons wins the job early on, but I think Cedric Gray is going to be in the starting lineup before too long, and potentially a starter on special teams as well as probably our immediate depth corner. So filled some needs and got some good players for the most part, guys that I liked. So I was on board with it. I think not my favorite draft in the league, certainly. And I'll get into that later. Some drafts that I really loved, but I think after an interesting first 2 days, I think day 3 was really good. And I think in general, Ran Carthon can be trusted to do well on day 3. That was his MO in San Francisco, and I am not shocked that I'm liking what he's doing on day 3 so far in Tennessee. And that's it for me, sir.
Okay, then I guess I'll talk about my boys. Now I know less college and I know less of these players, so mine might be a little quicker. I might just talk ideas here. Starting off with the Cowboys trading back from 24 to 25, picking up a 3rd round pick, and only having to give up. They also gave up a 7th rounder. Loved the trade when it happened. And ultimately, I still really like it because we got a guy who I had seen mocked to us at 24. I think Gabe liked doing that. I think Gabe mocked that.
I think he did.
I think he literally said Tyler Guyton is Jerry Jones type.
Well, he's an offensive lineman named Tyler.
Yeah, that's gonna help.
So.
But yeah, so when you see your team trade back and still get a guy that you see mocked a lot, I'm probably gonna like that, especially picking up a 3rd rounder just to move back 5 spots. I think the only tackle who went after was Jordan Morgan. I'm fine with betting on this upside of Tyler Guyton over him. So we did that. I'll get to our 2nd round pick, but just to have the whole trade in context, we then picked up Cooper Beebe with our 3rd round pick.
That's a good pick.
And he's definitely going to be sliding into center. We're definitely going to try to.
That's what I've heard as well.
Fit him in there at center. So pretty much with the one trade, we address the 2 biggest needs of our offensive line with.
Yeah.
So that's pretty sick. One trade.
That's awesome.
Ideally, fix your O-line. Ideally, we'll have to see how these players actually pan out, which is a big thing. I mean, Cooper Cooper Beebe is going to be sandwiched in between all pro level guards. So
He's gonna have the easiest job in the league at center.
He'll
Tyler Smith and Zach Martin.
he's got wiggle room to learn. And
He'll be
then
okay.
speaking of Tyler Smith,
you can suffer some growing pains there at center.
yeah. And then Guyton, might struggle a bit at first if they need to slide Tyler Smith over to help him out on some plays.
Mm-hmm.
That's an all-pro level player.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. And then to go back to our second round pick, we took Marshawn Nealand. The idea, some people were upset that we took an edge. I'm not at all. I think we lost Dorrance Armstrong. I like rotating D ends, so getting a guy that I'm just gonna, they're high on. It's easy to play
Nealand
next.
Fell a bit further than some of his hype had gone as well because Nealand was picking up a lot of steam before the draft rolled around as like a top 40 guy, and you guys got him in the 50s.
Yeah, I see him according to ESPN overall ranked 39.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he was getting mocked in like the back of the first, early second.
Yeah, I some people are upset because it wasn't a need, but I like a team keeping a strength a strength.
Also, just like BPA as well. Like if you only ever drafted for need, you're gonna pass on some incredible players, and you are really sometimes only as good as your backups. At the end of the day, like it just takes one guy going down.
Defensive end, we've talked about it. I think we both had it top 3. Top 5.
Edge rusher is one of the most important. But any kind of pass rush that you can generate.
I think consensus top 3 positions.
Yeah.
You need guys there. So just taking that's a position. That's probably the number one position I'll never be mad at a team for taking. Because unlike quarterback, which is the most important, you can only have one out there. So there's no need of having you need a good backup, but
everybody rotates their edge. Nobody just plays 2 guys 100% of the snaps the entire season. Like that's not how that works.
Yeah, no, and you're not rotating offensive linemen. The only other one would be wide receiver. Would be the other position where I'm like, if that's the best player and you've already got a guy, you still take them.
The Dolphins are kind of annoying with that. They took Malik Washington and they took. Was it Brendan Rice or Taj Washington? I think it was Taj Washington that they drafted.
Rice went to, I think he went to the Chargers.
Yeah, he did. So it was Taj Washington. And it's like, why? Why do you need to do this every year? What the fuck? Yeah. You drafted 2 Washingtons, and they're both like, I don't know. I mean, they're both good players, especially as late as they got them. But it's like, do you have to? You really have to? But whatever.
Yeah, but so I really liked that pick. Then we took a linebacker in the 3rd round. Marist Luafua. Luafua. Cool. I mean, especially because Mike is, he's really just playing edge now. Like his first year, like he did really play a lot of linebacker, but now he really is just playing edge out there, which is fun. I mean, he still gets moved around. Sometimes he's lining up in the middle, but regardless, getting another linebacker in there is fine. I'm really high on DeMar Overshown, so I didn't see it as big of a need as other teams. But 3rd round, our 4th pick, that's fair.
He's also still coming off the injury.
Yeah. So we'll see. Then we took a corner, Kalen Carson.
Kalen Carson. I love Kalen Carson.
Yeah.
Love it, especially in the 5th round. That's great value. The injury made him fall, but he's a very good corner. Should have gone back at round 3.
Cool. Yeah, especially because he's even with Gilmore gone, like we still have Deron Bland, Trayvon Diggs is gonna come back. I think we still have Jordan Lewis. Our starting corners is probably set. He'll have time to develop, break rotation, get in there.
Could be like the day 1 CB4 though.
Maybe
he could play on some dime packages. Like he could get on the field a little bit.
We'll see.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did. He's a very good player. I liked him a lot.
And then we took in the 6th round a wide receiver, Ryan
Flournoy, right?
Flournoy from Southeast Missouri State.
He has a 9.8 RAS. That's all you need to know.
So we took traits. We took physical traits.
Yeah, that is traits on day 3, which is I'm never gonna get mad at it.
Yeah, which I talked about. It's like
at wide receiver.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Guys with great tape are gone. So.
Please. Yeah. Well, most of them. Yeah. And if they're still there, they either have injury history or they're small or character.
They have good tape, but the measurables tell you they're not going to work in the NFL.
They're either a historical outlier or it's not going to hold up.
Yeah. So, but But I still like our wide receiver core. I mean, I know some people thought it was a bigger need than maybe I did. I still look at Gallup, Cooks. I know you need more, but we use our tight ends a lot. I still like our tight ends. But then I like Jalen Tolbert. I think he started playing a little bit better, who I like. And then Jalen Brooks, when I saw him on the field, I was like, you know what? He's got something. So I'd like to see more from him. But just getting another body in there for wide receiver, especially one with, these traits.
I think wide receiver is one of those, like, people say you should draft a quarterback every year.
Yeah,
which I agree with. I kind of feel that way about wide receiver.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just take a guy. Just any guy.
We took another offensive tackle, 6'5", 330 from Louisiana, Nathan Thomas. So, which I said I liked because I don't love Terrence Steele, so just bringing in bodies at offensive tackle, throwing some stuff at the wall, seeing what hits, getting some guys in maybe who could develop, no problem. And then a D tackle, Justin Rogers out of Auburn.
Okay.
I'm kind of banking on Mozzie Smith improving, which I genuinely just think he will.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I didn't think he was this disastrous player like some people made him out to be. I know he was taken in the first round, but not every guy and not every position just translates immediately.
Especially nose tackle.
Yeah. So
it's not one that's like.
I mean, Osa just had like a breakout year. I know they're not the same player, but just in terms of like a D tackle, or just a guy. Just reminder, guys. Some NFL players take a second. Yeah. Osa just had a breakout year. Maybe Mozzie can do the same. But yeah, that was the Cowboys draft. Overall, I mean, I always, since I don't know much, I usually am pretty. I mean, I just say fuck it. I trust the Cowboys drafting. It's like the one thing I really trust them to do. Especially seeing an offensive lineman go in the first round, I'm like, well, we do pretty good with those. So I'm going to trust him on this.
Yeah.
If there was a boomer bust, if there was a place an offensive tackle wanted to go that was boomer bust to hit the boom, I feel like we're a team, maybe we're not number one, but we're a top team that could help you do that just because of fucking the water.
Whatever they got over there.
Yeah.
It works.
Plus, if you're playing left, you're going to be right next to you is an all-pro. That's just always going to be good. That's just always going to feel good. Plus, Zach Martin, he maybe doesn't play tackle, but something tells me he could still help a tackle in terms of just being this perennial all-pro level player in the same position group. It's going to help.
Yeah, it's helpful.
But yeah, that's a Cowboys draft. I liked it.
Yeah, that's the Cowboys draft. Good. Glad you liked it. I liked it as well. Got good value as well on most of the picks.
Okay. So I think, do you want to do like our favorites and least favorite picks?
Yeah, I might have a couple of picks that are like considered favorites, like, different rounds, just for value reasons and whatnot. Like, I liked Mims to the Bengals at 18 a lot. Big fan of that pick. He doesn't have to play right away, so.
You said Mims to the Bengals?
Yeah, Mims to the Bengals at 18 is one that I'm quite fond of.
I've got zero problem them just saying, you know what? Even if it's not a need day one, let's just make sure we put an offensive line in front of Joe Burrow. And this is the team I'll be watching this year. Plus, like we've said before, offensive linemen who play all 17 games, pretty hard to do.
Yeah.
Very hard to do. Plus, your right tackle is on a one-year deal. Get a high upside guy in there. Anyways.
So, Ricky Pearsall in the first round as well. Not that it was necessarily like the best value or anything, but just to see a team believe Ricky Pearsall that much to take him round one, I fuck with that.
And it's a team where you're like, you know what? I trust that offensive coordinator.
Oh, Kyle Shanahan with Ricky Pearsall, that's gonna be fun. Yeah. I have no doubts about that. Johnny Newton in round 2 being the third D tackle off the board. I don't care if it's not an immediate need for Washington. You can ship Jonathan Allen to Shanghai or whatever if you want to. Like, it's fine. Excuse me, sorry. But especially after Rukaroro went the pick before, Cooper DeJean at 4.
Which, by the way, one of the like the longest pauses I've heard when a draft announcer was announcing the draft.
Oh my God! Speaking of, Jamal Charles like actually can't read, right? Like genuine. Like I'm not saying this to insult him. Jamal Charles is like illiterate to a degree. I'm pretty sure. Like doesn't actually read very well. They made this man announce Kingsley Suamataia. They made Jamal Charles announce Kingsley Suamataia. And he did his best. He
Yeah.
did his best. But what the fuck? I mean, come on.
Oh, what the fuck?
That's fucking ridiculous. But anywho, yeah, that was not cool. But glad he got to announce a pick for KC at least. Oh, also, yeah, Kingsley Suamataia at the back of the second round. That's great value.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, guys, what the fuck are we doing? I think I even texted, like, the Chiefs can't keep doing this.
Yeah. And then, speaking of tackle with great value, Kieran Amagaji in the third round for Chicago. Fantastic value once again. By the way, Chicago, Austin Booker in the fifth round. Fantastic.
We can just
value.
be quick. I think in terms of best drafts, Bears are up there.
Arizona, Kansas City. I think I trading up for Xavier Worthy. I don't love.
Yeah.
I don't know who else was gonna take him.
Maybe they were afraid of Baltimore. I'm not sure.
Maybe, but even then, Baltimore extending Rashad Bateman a year makes it seem less likely that they were going to take receiver to begin with. Anyway, I think Nate Wiggins was their guy.
Probably, but they don't know that. And are they sitting there like, yeah, Rashad Bateman?
Well, why are you extending him then if he's not in your plans?
Well,
that's my thing. Like at the very least, you're not taking a receiver round 1 if you're extending Rashad Bateman. Not round 1. You can take a guy round 2.
Did we just talk about having multiple wide receivers?
We did, but it just makes it seem less likely, at least from the outside looking in, that you're gonna.
I guess less likely, but I mean, if they're, I mean, they were clearly high on Xavier Worthy. They're like, if they probably asked themselves, hey, if the Ravens are as high on him as we are, what do? They do this, so let's just guarantee they don't. A team they saw in the AFC Championship game beat them.
There were
good bit, but.
There were also 2 wide receivers I was notoriously low on.
Mm-hmm.
That was Troy Franklin and Tez Walker. Neither of which got drafted until round 4. So the league agreed with me. They stink. Except I think both of them are great value where they got drafted. Even though
Troy Franklin went to like the best spot for him.
Yeah, he gets to play with Bo Nix again.
He already has a connection with the quarterback established and Sean Payton.
And then Tez Walker went to Baltimore in round 4, which another receiver to drop passes from Lamar. I can't wait. He doesn't have enough of those already. Receiver with bad hands in Baltimore, never heard of it. Oh, that's never seen that before in my life. So hopefully he cleans that up.
So these are some first round picks for me that I really liked. And one of them's top 10. So it's like, does this count? I mean, we're just saying my favorite picks. I love. Yeah. Quarterback, wide receiver rookies coming in together. So Rome Odunze is a number 1 wide receiver, like in any other draft, going like 1 overall, but he's the 3rd here because of how good those other 2 are. Bears getting to pair him with Caleb Williams day 1.
I love that.
Oh my gosh, he gets to learn from like Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Chicago won the draft.
Yeah, I agree. You get
especially when you factor in they didn't just get Caleb Williams number 1. That's somebody else's draft pick.
They're already a good enough team to not be the number 1 pick.
They traded Bryce Young for Caleb Williams and DJ Moore and a slew of other shit. Like, that's awesome.
I can't wait for the Instagram post that fully break down where everything went.
Right as well from that trade. Like, you've got early, but presumably your franchise right tackle. He played pretty well last year down the stretch. You've got.
I mean, that offensive line's a little underrated. Everyone think it's terrible just because Justin Fields held the ball too long.
Yep. Yeah, like Chicago, and they got value late. They got Kieran Amagaji round 3. They got Austin Booker round 5. Like, they didn't have a lot of picks, but they did a lot with them.
Yeah. The other one, because I told you how high I was on this guy. If he was, no medicals or whatever, he was just my edge 1. Latu at 15 to the Colts.
In general, getting your pick of best defensive player at the 15th spot in the draft. And, Ballard was like rubbing his hands together in the draft room. He was like, we got the best rusher at 15. He was so happy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they said, okay, they looked around like, why are these guys falling? And because they also took A.D. Mitchell later.
Hmm.
and are very passionate about having him.
Yeah, I don't think Lotto at 15 was falling. I think that's about where he was
Well,
expected to be.
I mean, I
But
do.
fair enough.
When I was picking for the Falcons, let's talk about that in a second. When I was
Yeah,
picking for the Falcons,
we'll
I
talk
was like,
about that.
fuck it, take the best edge player, and I was taking Latu. I guess after that, well, maybe the Bears because that's just the position. I mean, really, any of these teams you could.
Hmm.
I know you had him going to the Broncos,
Yeah,
but I think not only just Latu there, but like the first defensive player there.
yeah,
So not only is
yeah.
it like,
That's pretty cool.
yes, I agree this is the number one defensive player. It's like you know that this team also thinks the best defensive player just fell to them.
I bet you that's how Seattle felt getting Byron Murphy at 16.
Maybe.
100%. That's how, because they would have taken him over Latu for sure, but just because it was a much bigger need for them,
Yeah.
and also, I mean, he was the Rams tried trading into the top 10 to get Byron Murphy.
Wow.
They didn't do it successfully. But speaking of trading into the top 10, the Vikings did not have to move much to get JJ.
No.
And I think honestly, I feel way better about JJ McCarthy to the Vikings after they only had to move up one spot, and even though they moved it one spot just to make sure nobody else could do it, because
Yeah.
I'm sure the Jets were taking calls. So Minnesota said, "Let's not risk it. We've waited long enough. Let's go with one. 4 quarterbacks have already gone off the board. Let's do it." So,
Do we want to go ahead and just talk about one of those quarterbacks that went?
You want to talk about the fourth one? Yeah.
Shocker.
Well,
It was a
this is-
shocker.
well, hang on. This is peak smokescreen season, right?
Yeah.
I have a theory.
Okay.
The more I see something get reported from now on, the less I'm going to start believing it. If it gets so ridiculously ham-fisted that it's all people talk about coming out of one team, whatever, I'm not believing that shit. If I see one singular report right before draft night, I'm believing that shit. Because 2 days before the draft, there was one individual report that said Penix could go as high as number 8 to Atlanta.
Whew.
And I looked at it and I said, okay, and I kept scrolling. 2 days later, I go make a drink in my kitchen, come to my computer to film my live stream. Pick's already been made after 7. I find out Penix is a Falcon. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I remembered, oh, no, I saw this 2 days ago, actually.
Yeah.
And I glanced right at it. I glanced right over it. I didn't pay it any mind. And they tried to tell us. It was going to happen. They tried to tell us. And I don't think anybody listened because it shocked everyone, myself included. And I don't love the process.
I'm gonna give my opinion. It could work out.
Yes.
Could. Michael Penix sitting for those couple years could come in and then take over and take Atlanta wherever. But the comparison to the Packers with Jordan Love,
Hell no.
very different. They didn't just recently extend Aaron Rodgers. That pick was in the 20-ish, in the 20s somewhere, which means not only was it a lesser value pick, it also means their team didn't have as glaring needs. I know they needed another pass catcher in there, but just not as big as maybe some of the Falcons' needs on the D-line.
Edge rusher was screaming at them, and they didn't address it until round 3 with Braylon Trice. I like Braylon Trice, but he's like a third edge. He's not like somebody you want out there.
And the biggest thing is like age and games played. Jordan Love was significantly younger in terms of coming into a draft, significantly younger than Michael Penix, played significantly less games. The good thing about Michael Penix in this draft when thinking about who to take was he was ready. He was an older player. He had played a lot of games in college. Like, this guy is going to be as ready as you really could be coming into the NFL. Every rookie's going to have an adjustment because it's another tier of football, but he was as good as you could probably get coming into a draft in terms of games played, being ready, being in different situations. He lost, but he had went to he played in some playoff games, made a championship game. Like, having him specifically sit behind Kirk Cousins for let's be generous and say 2 years it's not like even if they had took JJ, who you're like, you know what, he wasn't asked much to do in Michigan. We do like some of the things we see here. We know he can stay out of the way of winning, which is
I would have liked it a lot more.
Yeah, I think I would have liked it more too.
I could live with JJ sitting for 2 years. Penix doesn't need to sit.
No. And that's the thing, yeah, JJ would have made sense. You're like, you know what, we like some of the tools here. You know, it's not as toolsy as like some of these other raw prospects, but like he's got something to him.
Well, and like you said, 2 years to be generous because there's an out after 2 years. All the guaranteed money's in the first 2 years, so you could realistically cut Cousins after 2 years.
And Mr. Perfect Businessman Kirk Cousins, he does have a no trade clause though, so he could probably be like, hey, teams that trade for me, the only reason I'm waiving this is if this gets converted to like a signing or something guaranteed. God, Kirk has the best agent, dude.
Well, it's just like I was so in love with what Atlanta was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you were doing so well.
Yep.
You were doing so well. You had done everything right up to this point.
Yep.
This offseason. You hired a good culture builder who was also a great defensive mind. You brought in a hot offensive coordinator candidate who I'm really high on. You signed Kirk Cousins, who was going to be coming off a career year had it not been for the injury. And in general, had the last couple seasons had really, I think, brought his game to a new level. And
you have like the offense ready.
Darnell Mooney, you have a great offensive line in place. You've got Bijan motherfucking Robinson there, and
Tyler Algier.
Yeah, and
Drake London.
You just needed some Dallas Turner is a perfect fit for Raheem Morris's defense. Even if you don't want Dallas Turner, okay, take Byron Murphy, take Leatu Latu, take Quinyon Mitchell, take whatever you want to help you out there defensively. Sure, take fucking Chop Robinson. I don't care. Why on earth do you feel the need to take a quarterback right now? What's that going to do for you? This everything they have done up to this point is what a win now football team would do. And then all of a sudden, 8th overall, you take Michael Penix.
8th is crazy.
8th over, in a vacuum, I wouldn't even hate Michael Penix going 8th. I'm higher on Penix than most.
I've told you how I feel about quarterbacks going. If you don't got one, take it. Fuck it.
A lot of people had 3rd round grades on Michael Penix. I thought that was ridiculous.
No.
I was much higher on Penix than a lot of people were.
If the Raiders had taken Penix, I would have been like, this is great for the Raiders.
I would have been jumping for joy if the Raiders had taken Penix.
Penix getting to throw to Devontae Adams, I would have been hyped. Ecstatic.
Sign me up. I would have loved it. I would have loved Penix at 13. Penix at 8 to a team that just signed Kirk Cousins to a team that is very clearly trying to win right now. Stinky. Yeah. No. Bad. Bad, Terry Fontenot. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. And then to trade up for Rook Orororo when Johnny Newton is on the board? Why?
Oh, shit, that was them too. Oh, my God.
And then he went a pick later, as he should have, because why? You gave up a 3rd round pick, I think, in this draft to go get Rook Orororo when you could have traded up for Johnny Newton. Sorry, I've been coughing so much. But it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Even then, I probably still feel a little better about the Penix pick than I think most people do. Most people vitriolically hate it. I think, sure, optimistically.
Yeah, I've heard some takes about the pick. This is the ultimate hedge just to not be a terrible team at any point. This is the owner being like, hey, I saw what happens when you have a Desmond Ridder. Under any circumstances, I do not want that again. And
honestly, it looks like Arthur Blank was confused in the draft room. It looks like Terry
I saw that
was
clip.
trying to break it down to him. It doesn't even look like Arthur Blank was sold.
I don't want to read into what that clip was.
I suppose because we didn't hear anything.
Yeah,
it didn't look.
They're
great.
just fucking talking about the WNBA, and he's like,
"How about that, Caitlin Clark?"
No, these chicks can really hoop, sir.
She's got a 10-figure or
8-figure
Nike deal. You don't understand.
No, sir. Antonio Brown didn't say he saw it. He just thinks this.
He just said she looks like the type to keep it airy.
All-time tweet. That's an all-time tweet.
All-timer right there. What the CTESPN. Shout out. Yeah. like you said, this is not like taking Jordan Love when you have Aaron Rodgers. I was fighting tooth and nail. I died on the Jordan Love hill the day he was picked. Granted, I was also high on Love that year, but in general, I was like, no, this makes perfect sense. Like, I scrutinized the fuck out of the AJ Dillon pick because I'm like, okay, it's round 2. You have Aaron Jones, you have Jamal Williams at that point. Like, just take a fucking receiver. But, like you said, this is also the contract. Taking a quarterback in the top 10 versus taking a quarterback in the 20s.
Oh
Penix
yeah,
is the most expensive backup.
the
in the league
money
right
that they're spending at the quarterback spot is crazy right now.
it's insane.
It's over 50, and it's like you don't have like
So-
as I love Kirk, you don't have a Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow
right.
level
Like,
guy, Josh Allen level guy in that room. Why are you spending that much money on it?
I'm glad you have what you consider a good backup at this point, so you don't feel lost if Kirk goes down. But you're spending a gazillion dollars on the quarterback position right now, and you have Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix to show for it.
And Kirk's coming off an injury. I don't know what he's going to be looking like in the beginning of practice whenever these teams are there. You're going to see these younger guys who are going to relate to Penix more. Watch Penix throw the ball, probably look really well while Kirk Cousins isn't doing anything. You might accidentally start creating something in a locker room you shouldn't fucking have.
Yep.
Which I think that part might be getting a little overlooked.
I hadn't really thought about that much.
Those
I
younger
thought
guys
about
are going to
that.
connect with Penix. It's going to be easier. Kirk Cousins is a great guy. They're going to have respect for him, but it's going to be harder for Cousins to connect with him the way Penix can, especially in Atlanta.
I was gonna say, Penix is actually a great fit for Atlanta
Oh.
because he's from Tampa.
It's perfect.
And I feel like there's some overlap.
Dude, him rapping on the sideline about how they're going to come back. Dude, in Atlanta?
Yeah, that's gonna do numbers. But hey, okay, he's a Tampa boy.
Yeah,
Like,
they created a
that's the-
situation here that's like, oh,
well, and I think at least from a city perspective, Penix to Atlanta is fantastic.
Oh,
like in a
yeah.
vacuum, tell me Michael Penix
Bro.
went to Atlanta, especially if that happened around 2.
what other quarterback is wearing a do-rag
Okay.
saying "free the homie" in a fucking
in
TV?
a combine interview, right?
Yeah,
Like, or some.
It was
shit.
like a post-game thing.
Yeah, post game press or whatever, but like, or like on the field interview.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah, great fit for the city of Atlanta, right? Like, Atlanta will love Penix for sure, but
But the problem now is that,
that's- that's like the only redeeming quality of this pick is that, Penix is going somewhere he's probably going to be pretty well liked.
yeah.
But
Then
might-
then it causes a controversy of who's starting.
which I think as long as Kirk is healthy and he's slinging that rock,
Oh my, dude,
I think-
Kirk
I
has
think it'll be
one
fine.
bad primetime game. I mean, one game period already, but like you throw that bitch in prime time.
Get that cracker off the field.
Oh my god, and like I said, bro, like the more I think about it, the more I think about like these young guys on the team connecting with Penix, especially like I said at the very beginning of practice. If Kirk isn't throwing, if Kirk isn't out
So
there,
if it's just Penix out there,
and they see
going down.
Penix fucking slinging that thing like he can,
Mhm.
that's a big fucking problem.
Yep.
But yeah, so it sucks because like love Kirk, love everything else Atlanta had done, love Michael Penix. I told you, I don't think I mentioned this, but I if Cowboys had taken him, I would have been ecstatic. I kind of in the back of my mind was like, I'm kind of done with Dak. Kind of like Michael Penix a lot. Love Michael Penix. So I love everything. All these pieces separate, I love. All of them together,
the process stinks.
it's not
The
good.
process stinks. Now, like, yes, ultimately this is a results-oriented league, but I still,
Yes.
even if things work out well, I still think evaluating the process matters. Like, it doesn't. It matters a lot less when things work. Like, if Michael Penix brings them a Super Bowl, you're not going to give a shit that he went 8th overall.
But
after just
the
like-
problem is when you see a bad process, you're like, this is usually not an isolated incident. They have bad processes there. It's gonna hinder other things in other ways.
Yeah, some guys keep their job longer than they should because they luck into some shit like that.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
is what it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hot.
So
I already forgot what Dak's Cadence thing is that. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Hey, here we go.
I remember the one time Derek Carr pulled out the Nancy Gruden. That was insane. That was insane. I think John after the game was like, "Yeah, I'd like him to keep my wife out of his audibles, pretty please. Like, don't do that again." One of my favorite person. But some other picks, I like Darius Robinson of the Cardinals a lot. A lot of people said it was too early for a tweener. I was pretty high on Darius Robinson, and in general, like Monty Ossenfort, I feel like is the good ending of John Robinson, like what John Robinson was supposed to be for the Titans. Because Monty Ossenfort is a John Robinson disciple. He got hired in the same cycle as Rain Carthon, and I think they were the only two teams in the league that needed a GM. It was just Arizona and Tennessee at the time. And Monty, through 2 drafts, has killed it. So, shout out Monty Ossenfort. Cardinals winning 12 games this year. Looking. We've been very pro Cards in this podcast. It's only
Very. And as that draft went on, it was just like we before the draft we said this team's probably going to be in the wild card.
Oh my God, they got Dadrian Taylor Demerson, who I loved at safety. Let me pull up the Cardinals draft. They got quite a few players I liked.
This isn't. I'm just focusing on 2 positions here. But Chargers, they get Joel, and then they get Ladd McConkey, and then they get Brendan Rice way later. It ended up kind of working out for the Chargers, where they probably first 2 positions they were going to attack was going to be tackle and wide receiver. If they flip it, what tackle do they take there?
Like in the second round.
Yeah, who do you think they take there?
So it's tough because if they don't take Joe Alt, Tennessee actually might still take Latham. Honestly, from what I heard, Tennessee might have actually been higher on Latham, but then the Jets probably take Alt, or somebody trades up for Alt, whatever. But like one less tackle might go in the first round,
maybe,
or guy like things fall back one, and then Guyton goes to like San Francisco instead of Ricky Pearsall or whatever. But
yeah, that's what I was, because like also, or just one team that didn't, I guess earlier is just
that wanted a tackle, couldn't get one because they didn't want to reach. Maybe it's Patrick Paul. I don't know.
I think it might have ended up working out taking the tackle first a bit better.
I'm with you.
Although obviously like Neighbors, I don't know. I love like Neighbors is so much better than Ladd, but like I don't know, the fall off from Neighbors to Ladd could be less than like from Joe Alt to Patrick Paul.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the Cardinals draft class here. Marvin Harrison, obviously, like best player in the class, and you got him 4th overall. That's great value.
Always gonna be good.
Darius Robinson at 27, I love. Max Melton at 43, fantastic athlete. He's Bo Melton's brother, so of course, fantastic athlete.
Damn, they brought in so many players. Period. Just
Trey Benson, my RB1. They got him at the top of the 3rd round. That's terrific value. I think he's going to be fantastic. I think he's going to win a starting job at some point during the season.
12 players.
I love Trey Benson. Isaiah Adams. I don't know a whole lot about Isaiah Adams, but it's an interior offensive line. They needed help there. Tip Ryman. Other than the fact that he says birds aren't real, I love Tip Ryman.
I always wonder how serious those people are. I think he was talking specifically pigeons.
Yeah, he was like, "Have you ever seen a baby pigeon?" But
that's just a big ass meme.
Tip Ryman's a very good football player. I think he's going to be a very good tight end too, behind your guy Trey McBride, fantasy winner for you last year.
Yep, correct. That's my king.
Elijah Jones, the corner from Boston College, great athlete, great ball skills, great production. Like, kind of just weirdly fell under the radar the entire time throughout the draft process. Just was never looked at as highly as I think he should have been. Dadrian Taylor Demerson in round 4. I love him. One of my favorite safeties in the class. Xavier Thomas from Clemson, who pass rusher. I think in round 5. That's good value. Christian Jones from Texas, round 5. This is a starting caliber tackle that they got at 162. A guy who could, like, for sure, bare minimum, great swing tackle, great like 6-man type offensive lineman. But I think he could start and like give you good tackle play. And then Two more guys that I didn't know a whole lot about, but in general, great draft class from Arizona. Fantastic draft class. So I could like we were already very high on them being a playoff team before the draft.
Yep.
Now after the draft, I would be shocked if they didn't get in somehow.
Yep.
Because I think people forgot how good Kyler Murray is. I think they're going to remember real quick.
I
with
think
Marvin
the three
Harrison.
wild cards are going to be them, the Bears. Oh, fuck. Actually, it's going to be tough. I think the NFC got better.
I can see the entire NFC North making the playoffs.
Yeah, because I was thinking because I was going to say Bears, Cardinals, and then either the Cowboys or Eagles, whichever one doesn't win it. But then I was like, shit, I'm leaving out, like, the Vikings.
And the Packers, assuming you got the Lions.
Yeah.
Packers
Packers
were
even
the
more
youngest
so.
Packers were the youngest team in the league,
Yeah.
and they won a playoff game.
I mean,
You can
one
only
team
assume upward trajectory.
one team that we're high on is gonna get like injury fucked.
Oh, for sure, it happens every year.
So that's gonna happen to a team. Ah, man, it's tough, dude. It's gonna be like NFC got better. I think NFC is gonna be better
The
this
NFC
year.
is going to be just as competitive as the AFC was last year. I
Yeah.
think. We're seeing a resurgence in the NFC. It's about damn time, honestly. This conference has been stinky for like.
I mean,
5
they got
years
an
now.
injection at quarterback with
Yep.
Caleb, Jaden Daniels, JJ,
Yep.
Michael Penix.
It is about damn. Which he might not. He might. I don't know if JJ will start for sure. I could see Darnold winning the job outright.
Yeah.
Either way, I would still think Minnesota's scary with Darnold at quarterback. To be quite honest with you, I'm gonna believe in Sam Darnold until he either
Sam
dies
Darnold with Kevin
or
O'Connell.
announces his retirement. Yep.
Expect Sam to be starting
Yeah.
somewhere next year.
Yep. That's all. Honestly, as long as Darnold wins the starting job this year and just starts to just gets playing time, if he plays good football, he is getting a contract with somebody else, and they're gonna roll with JJ. But I'd love to see it. Absolutely love to see it.
What if they tagged and trade Darnold?
Fuck it. Why not? Why not? Just to get some extra value from him? I mean, if you let him walk, you probably get like a compensatory pick for it. But sure, tag and trade him too if he has a market.
That's kind of what I wish the franchise tag just was. I hate how they can just fucking hold a player
Yeah,
the way they
hostage,
can.
basically. It's
Like, I think it should be
you can do it. You can do it 3 years in a row. I think that's ridiculous. I think it should be a 1-year thing.
Yeah, 1 year thing, so that
You should
player
not be
is
able to
either
tag a
like,
player 3 years in a
okay,
row.
I can play this out, or I can sign with the team that I'm getting traded to.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, you draft a guy, right? 4-year contract. You
Mhm.
draft him in the first round, could be a 5-year contract.
Yep.
You have a team option for the 5th year. And then you can franchise tag him for 3 years in a row.
Yep.
You could hold a player hostage for 8 years. That's a career length for most guys.
Yeah.
You can do it for 8 years.
Although if a team's willing to franchise tag you, unless you're like a running back, you probably are a good enough player to have a career longer than that.
Yeah.
If you're franchise tag worthy, you're first you were pick up the 5th year option worthy, which is less of like a worthy thing sometimes.
Yeah.
And then fucking, I'm worth being using the one franchise. Yeah, but I think teams should have one franchise tag, and it's just the 1 year for player.
You do not get to tag the same guy 2 years in a row.
No.
I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You should figure it out. If you can't figure out contracts after a whole year, you don't deserve to keep that player.
Oh yeah. It's like clearly you guys are just off. Go.
It's not as much of a priority for you, or you're just not willing to pay as much as he's asking for.
Yeah.
But either way, it's not going to work. If you can't figure it out in 2 off seasons, it's not happening.
Low key, yeah. I mean, yeah. But I think honestly, I think I'm footballed out.
I think I'm about football out as well.
All right, let's do a quick. Let's
Girl
cut.
boss affirmation.
Oh fuck! I mean to do that during the check-in. I
We
just
should
forget.
do that earlier on, but you know, we made it this far and whatever. We don't
Fuck it.
forget.
So much has
Let's
gone
get it.
down. We need to be affirmed here.
We need some affirmation.
This comes from Tina Fey.
Thank you, Tina.
Do your thing and don't care if they like it.
She's right. I fucks with Tina Fey.
I was trying to think, because usually like main culture celebrities, I'm always like, I feel like there should be something I don't like about them, but I just can't think of anything with Tina Fey.
Tina Fey does not give me any icky vibes.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
So
I respect the fuck out of Tina Fey.
as far as I can, as far as I'm aware of right now, shout out to Tina Fey.
Presumably,
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah, I'm gonna say most likely. Shout out to Tina Fey.
I am nearly certain. Shout out Tina Fey.
Shout out to Tina Fey.
Damn straight.
Okay, let's just do let's run through these 3 quick questions here. Icebreaker. Oh, just we kind of did this with the meal thing earlier, so we maybe could swap this. But describe your perfect dinner, or we could go full vibe, not just the food.
Okay. Definitely got a tablecloth on that bitch. Ideally a candle, singular candle, maybe a couple if you get a little frisky with it. But nothing too potent. You don't want to smell the candle necessarily too much while you're eating because you want to be able to smell the food.
Right. Some subtle.
Or a scent that goes with what you're eating. Just so that it's not combative at all. Like if while you're eating dessert, you can have something vanilla-y going. That'd be nice. But and then the food. Damn. I don't know. Maybe it's coursed out. Maybe there's a salad to start things off. Nice.
You a bread guy?
Yeah. Yeah, I fucks with the bread. You can get some croutons in there. Some Parmesan.
I just meant like salad as a starter, bread as well.
Oh yeah, we'll get some bread in there too with some of the some butter of some kind.
Yeah.
Some kind of super fancy butter, like that.
Give me some
Texas Roadhouse butter.
I just took those fucking words out of my mouth, dude. That's literally what I was about to say.
Give me some Texas Roadhouse butter.
God, dude, we better get each other's wavelengths, dude, because we're locked the fuck in right now.
Give me a nice medium rare steak.
Okay.
Main course. In fact, give me a bacon wrapped filet mignon.
Whoa.
Getting real crazy with it, and I think that's good for me.
So, because the vibe of like how my ideal dinner would be, I think that the best foods, I don't think you could eat with the vibe I'm trying to go for. Okay. So I want to make that clear. Like these are not like I'm having the nicest food I can or like the best food I can, because the reason being because I think dream dinner, I'm laid down. We got something on the TV.
Hold up.
I held up. What are we holding for?
No, I said oiled up.
Oh, I heard hold up.
No, I said oiled up.
Oh, okay. I mean, if that's what you want, you can be in the corner oiled up.
No, you're gonna be oiled up. I'm gonna be oiled up. We'll be oiled up together.
Laying down, maybe with a pretty lady.
Pretty little thing.
Just eating food. Watching a movie, so I'm thinking, because the reason is like when I think of like nice foods, like steak came to my mind, but like I'm not laying down fucking cutting into a steak, so I'm thinking like maybe it doesn't have to be the cleanest food. I don't care about. Probably gonna be licking my fingers anyways with this dream dinner here. Give me some. I'm thinking like not like a nice nachos. You know.
Sure.
I'm trying to think what the drink could be.
What movie we watching?
See, it depends on the vibe. Like, is this? I've let it be known my favorite movie of all time is Brother Bear. That's like that can pretty. That's a good movie for really any mood. Like, it can really. I think it's really versatile in mood. Am I trying to have emotions flowing? My second favorite movie I said is Silent Voice. Real sad anime. So that's a specific vibe you got to go in knowing you're going to experience. Now, Brother Bear is sad, and it makes me tear up one specific scene every time, but overall length of the film, I don't need to be prepared for like a sadder thing. Silent Voice, I was like, oh, fuck. You know, so I think let's go with like either Brother Bear or we're scrolling for like a comedy.
Okay.
But yeah. Just a chill time, like... Things don't have to progress a certain way. Just enjoying the company and the warmth of another individual while eating some good food, sipping on some good drink. Maybe something a little fruity with a little kick to it. Chilling.
Yep.
That's probably my perfect dinner. Chilling. Food itself probably would be like a nice steak, like you said. I like mashed potatoes with them. Some cheese sticks. Salad's always a good starter. Honestly, not too different from yours.
Yeah.
All right. Deep. Is there anyone in your life that you are glad that you're no longer in contact with?
I haven't like gone no contact with a family member. I don't think, like off the top of my head. Oh, wait a minute. Step dick.
I didn't want to bring him
Yeah.
up,
No, you're good. You're good.
but
Yeah,
I was like, Jacob. That's why I kind of smirked when I read this, because I was like, oh well, I know Jacob's.
yeah, very glad I'm no longer in contact with that motherfucker. In fact, oh my goodness. Okay, so story time. My girlfriend signed me into her Peacock the other day. My TV was still signed into his Peacock account, so I changed the profile picture to Michael Myers and I changed the name to "I'm going to kill you," and that was it. Then I signed out. But before I signed out, I fucked with him. So when he gets out of prison, which I think is soon,
Damn.
for whatever reason
Too
he wants to
soon.
log into his Peacock, way too soon. If he wants to log into his Peacock, he's gonna see it's only one account there, and the name is "I'm going to kill you." So just
He's
scare
like,
him a
God damn
little
it! I
bit.
just wanted to watch that '70s show.
Just scare him a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of people I'm not in contact with. I don't know. I never had any bad, like truly bad falling out. Besides that one individual, but I don't even really think that one too much. I don't know. Usually things just kind of die out instead of like.
Things die out, yeah, for me too, for the most part. I have very few flame out.
So it's
I
like
had
I'm
one
not.
recently,
Yeah.
but I'm very glad I'm no longer in contact with her too.
So it's not like I'm like, oh yay, I'm not in contact with him. It's just like, we're just not.
We
So,
moved on.
trying to think. I feel like I should say something just to answer. I guess I'll just go. I'll just say like this one girl didn't make me feel good about myself, and I'll just
This
go with
was the coworker from like a few years ago.
yes.
Okay,
All right, final
I do
one.
recall.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do recall this one. I think that's good.
deeper.
Mm-hmm.
How important is it that you surround yourself with people who have the same political views as you?
I want some diversity there. I mean, it depends on what the differing political views are.
There's certain
Because
topics where it's like you
are-
can't.
There are certain topics where like your opinion is going to border on extremism, and like that I do not need to be around.
Yeah.
Like when it comes when you start debating human rights
Yeah.
with folks, you're like, black people. I can't have that.
I love that audio so.
But I'm like, I can't have that conversation with you. I'm sorry. Like, I'm tapping out. I'm not hearing you out. Respectfully. Like, we are not going to find common ground there. If you start off with,
Like here,
well,
I'll say
black
this.
people.
Because I don't think I've never really talked much about politics.
Mhm.
But I think some of the stuff in either group chat or your stories or stuff, you've alluded to certain things.
Yeah.
The really big ones, I don't think we really disagree in terms of human rights, people not dying.
Yeah.
But there's been some stuff where I'm like, okay, I don't think me and Jacob are on the same wavelength here, and it doesn't.
I've had that impression too for a few times, but I've never been like, oh,
It does not
Brayden doesn't
change
agree with
our
X, Y, or Z.
dynamic, our relationship. I love
No.
you. It doesn't change anything.
I love you. No, it doesn't. Like I don't want everyone around me to be completely like-minded.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to trap myself in an echo chamber. I want different thoughts. I want somebody who can check me, right? I don't want my opinion to be the only one I hear. I don't
Mhm.
want the people around me just reflecting my exact views. I want to hear different beliefs from. Like I said, there's a line. I
Yeah.
want to hear different views. I don't want to hear you go, black people. That's a conversation I'm not having.
Yeah.
There's a conversation I'm not having because you've already entered a territory I have no business being in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not hearing you out. Respectfully, I'm not hearing you out. In fact, disrespectfully,
grooming
I'm not.
is really real.
It's really not that bad. Is it real? I mean, if I had that kind of money, I'd camp out for a year. Like,
God,
I'm
when
not
he,
hearing you out.
oh, bro,
I'm
when
not hearing you
when he said that shit, I just was like, hey, bro, I didn't really argue with him on it. We're alone in a car. I was just like, I pretty much was just like, I don't think that's good, and I just kind of left it at that.
Well, no, it's not worth arguing because if he's already that far gone, like, what are you gonna say to change his mind? Like that's
Nothing. That's another thing. I was like, he doesn't get it. How do I
that's
word
what I'm
this for him
saying.
to get it? I don't think I'm
That's what I'm
capable
saying.
of it.
It's not a matter of like we're just like we need to find common ground here. No, there is no common ground when somebody says some shit like grooming
Yeah.
isn't real. You're not going to find a level playing field there, right? You're not gonna find an area where that's like it's all cool,
I should have known when
you
he said
know.
fuck Kendrick. I should have known then and there.
See, that in my opinion, that's another belief. If you say fuck Kendrick, like I just don't think we need to be
That
friends.
took me back. That was what this.
If you don't like Kendrick Lamar, what are we going to
It
agree on?
was so
Where are we going to
funny
find common ground on anything good for foundation of a friendship if you
because
don't like Kendrick Lamar?
we had pretty much finished working, but we don't have to be to the shop to a certain point, so we're sitting in the car just waiting,
Yeah.
pretty much, and it was like silent. We're just on our phones, and I was like, we should, we could talk a little bit. He seems cool, so I was like, hey, did you hear Kendrick's response to Drake? And he just went fuck Kendrick, and I was like, oh, this is not going to go
Yeah.
well at all.
I'm out.
I didn't know
out.
how bad it was going to
I'm-
get, but
I'm
it
getting
got
out
bad.
the car. I'm getting out the car, me personally.
Jesus. But yeah.
Yeah. So I'm with as far as like in general, no, I don't want everybody like I would prefer to have people in my immediate circle like have some like I want some diversity of thought in
Mhm.
there. As long as it's all rational, as long as it's all respectful,
Yep.
like I want some diversity of thought. I don't want everybody else feeling the same way. I just don't want to surround myself with people who
Go to the extremes
who
of either
say,
side.
oh well, sexual assault, it's just the natural order of things, men dominate women.
Oh, I did not want you to
Alright.
say the word dominate, bro. I literally was like, don't say
Yeah,
it, don't
like,
say it.
Well, that's how some of
Yes,
these
that's
folks
the
believe.
exact
That's-
word they use,
Yes,
which
that's
is
what I'm
why
saying.
I
So
hate
it's like-
hearing it because it's so
which is why-
real.
and no, I'm the same way. It's disgusting. That's what I'm saying. There are some things. I'm sorry. I simply like.
It's
I
like,
will
bro,
not
do
be
you
your
have a
friend.
mom?
If I hear something come out of your mouth like that, I will not be your friend. There is no way.
It's
There is
just
no chance in hell. Like, I want people with different viewpoints. I don't want that shit.
I don't know
want
how
that
you.
around me.
I just don't know how you get there. I'm like,
don't know how
I'm
you
not even
come to
like
this
that
conclusion.
close with my mom, but I'm like, bro, do you not have a mother?
When people say fatherless behavior, we need to start saying motherless behavior more often. Some of y'all do not have mothers. Some of y'all did not have mothers, and it shows.
Or the real problem is that they do. Like that's the real problem is that a lot of because mothers are overwhelming majority of the time like present, especially compared to
Yeah.
fathers. It's like you did have one, and it's just like
I know she didn't raise you that way. Ain't no way.
she probably had just been raised to be put in a certain place, was just accepted being put in a certain place, which is heartbreaking.
Yeah,
It's just
it is. Like I'm fully like I think we've gone too far in terms of like if there are women that are just in more traditional relationship kind of dynamics, as long as there's no abuse of power.
yeah, we've
there,
said before, like if you want that,
the
but it's
man,
built
like,
upon respect.
If you want that, that's your business. Like I'm not gonna. Sit
Yeah,
here
if
and
she's
tell
like,
you
hey,
you're
I'll
not
cook,
allowed
I'll clean, I'll stay home, take care of the kids,
And
you
neither
bring
of
home
them-
money.
Neither of them weaponize that against the other.
They both have respect for what each
I
other
love
does.
I love that.
Because
Yeah,
women will
he
do that,
respects-
and
he
then men will
respects the
put them
importance
down.
of your station. She respects the importance of his station.
Mhm.
That's fine with me. I ain't got no issue with that.
If you just view
I'm
it
down.
as a
Like,
partnership, which is
A real partnership, not a subservient like power dynamic. It is a partnership. I have this responsibility. You have this responsibility. We're both going to hold up our end of the bargain. It's going to come together and it's going to work.
Yeah.
Good for you. I'm happy for you. But that's the way that should work. If that's the dynamic, that's how it should work. It should be built on a foundation of mutual respect.
I didn't mention the guy I mentioned earlier. He mentioned wanting to be pampered, which is just like a weird. Like I get what he was trying to get at in terms of she cooks, she cleans, but I don't know, just something about the word pampered, especially
Well,
now
see-
after having talked to him, hits a little different.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, ooh, yeah. When he said grooming isn't real, I know she's both my sisters are over 18 now, but mine's like 19, still in college. My mind just went to just never let him around her in any capacity.
Hell no. Hard pass.
it's just those moments when someone says something and your whole view of them shifts is always so interesting. Of just like, oh, oh,
Oh,
okay,
you said that. You meant oh,
huh.
okay, yeah. Like I'm good.
Like I thought,
Like
she's a grown woman at this point, totally capable. But I was like, my mind immediately went to my younger sister. I was like, yeah, no, no,
yeah, I can't believe you just said that shit with your chest.
yeah.
Like I was gonna agree with you, but here we are.
He's got a son.
He's lucky you don't have daughters.
His son is not with him though.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah.
wavelength.
The wavelength time. Yeah. Did we fuck? We had an order for this.
I think I guess first. Whoever host is like close their eyes guesses first because top three guess goes first.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so I guess I'll close my little eyes.
Fuck. Okay, I need to go. I have my number.
Okay. Did you show it?
I showed it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Let's see. Let's go to somewhat of an old reliable. Well, not old reliable, but this is. I don't know if this exact question's old reliable, but this theme almost is old reliable. Give me a Gen. Let's. You know what? I just talked about him. Give me a Gen 3 Pokemon.
Ooh. Exploud.
Okay.
Exploud.
Okay. That's okay. It not Whismer. Explode.
No.
So
Not Whismer, not Louder, Exploud.
so we're talking. So that's interesting because it's like, I think middle stages are like lower tier.
Mm-hmm.
First and final forms can be anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking lower. I really don't know how you feel about them. Huge range. I'm about to say a huge range. It could be anywhere. You paused, so I don't think it's quite extremely low. So I'll go anywhere from like 3 to 5 right now.
Okay.
Then give me give me a first round pick from this previous NFL draft.
Ricky Pearsall.
Okay. I think that brings it up to like, I think I'm sitting at 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting at 5 right now. Give me a U.S. state.
I haven't been to a ton of them.
Okay.
But let's go with Louisiana.
Okay, we're starting to rise. I kind of they gave us Theo Vaughn. They gave us
Theo Vaughn.
the New Orleans Saints.
Is that a positive?
Right now, not really, but Drew Brees. So
they did give us Purdue gave us Drew Brees. Sure.
No, Saints gave us the Drew Brees we know. I'll stick with 5, but I could see it kind of teetering to 6. You know what? But I'm gonna stick with 5.
Okay.
So that's 3 questions, 2 more. Give me an item you can see in my frame.
gonna go with the Bath and Body Works bag.
Okay. The bag. All right. So.
Just Bath and Body Works in general. Fuck it.
Okay. I
That's
kind of
what
want to go up to like 6 now. It's one of the more prominent like you could tell what it is items. Like this, there's a clump here. You don't know what the fuck this is.
It looked like some Mike and Ike's or some shit instead of a little tray or whatever.
Starburst jelly beans.
Okay, see,
Some fruity candy.
Fruity candy, I was right. Some hard fruity candy.
They're just in like a.
Yeah, like a little plastic.
Like a.
Like you gonna have to share.
Yeah.
That's cool. Feed me through this phone.
Okay, so I think I'm leaning 6 now.
You got one more, I think.
Yeah, this is my final one.
That U.S. steak bowl was pretty good though.
Yeah, that could be one we go to a little bit. Let's end it with. Fuck. Let's go with. Just give me soda, a soda.
Ooh. Root beer, specifically A&W.
Oh fuck! See, now I'm like, whoa.
I was listening to A&W by Lana Del Rey this morning. I'm gonna put on that A&W.
That definitely pulled me up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with 7. I'm gonna lock in 7. Final answer.
Final answer 7.
Yeah.
It was 6. I'm not a huge root beer guy.
Fuck. Okay.
Right.
I am.
Also, I fuck with X-Ploud. I don't appreciate you throwing out 3 to 5 with X-Ploud because I was even bordering on X-Ploud being a 7 and it not being available because I might have felt a little better about it than I did.
Damn.
Don't ever disrespect X-Cloud like this ever again, or you're off the show.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I do like X-Cloud. I fuck with X-Cloud.
Wow.
I usually do run an X-Cloud in my Gen 3 teams.
Wow.
Like, I keep that.
You know what? I hadn't really played through.
X-Cloud does go hard. It does have like a 100 base special attack or something.
See, I hadn't really played Gen 3 like that. I've never really seen.
I like the design too. The design.
Really? I was
like
gonna say I just know him from his looks.
I feel like he's just gas. I don't know. I like X-Blood. I'm a simple man. I like me a loud ass fucking boombox Pokemon. I don't know. I like X-Blood. Sex-Blood. That's what I'd be calling him.
Okay. Damn.
All right, I'm gonna shut my eyes.
All right, I showed it.
All right. I'm gonna go.
It's gonna be interesting.
Gen 6 Pokemon.
Okay, yeah. I know those off the top of my head.
Awesome. All right, if you say Quilladin, I'm locking in 1. My answer right now.
Okay, let's see. I got some choices here.
Got some choices. Okay, I like that. I like that.
Okay.
Options.
I am gonna go with Trevenant.
Trevenant. Ooh. I'm thinking 7, 8, 9 right now. Like, I fuck with Trevenant. I hope you fuck with Trevenant because it's a ghost tree. It looks cool as shit. That's a good way to start. All right. First round picks from this year's NFL draft. What we got?
Yeah, let me just.
You know all those off the top of your head.
I probably could have thought of one off the top of my head, but let me just take a look.
Got a lot going on.
I'll go with. There's so many factors of like making something this. You know what? Let's go JC Latham. Let's go.
Do you not like Trevenant? Who the the fuck do I
Whoa,
like
whoa,
Trevor?
whoa, whoa.
All right, maybe you like J.C. Latham. Maybe this is I'm 7. It's the 7th overall pick. Okay, I'm thinking 7 right now. Maybe
JC
that's
like
the angle you were taking. I don't know. I'm gonna say 7's where I'm at right now, but with room to go up or down depending on if you're weirdly low on Trevenant for some reason. So you're gonna be excommunicated. U.S. states. I kind of like that one. I don't know. I fuck with it.
All
Sorry
right.
to reuse your questions here, but I fuck with U.S. states.
Let me think. Man, what do we like? We don't know what each other value in states though.
Well,
Let's go with Oklahoma. We might. I don't. Where are you at with Oklahoma?
I mean, there's a Gabe there.
There is a Gabe there.
That raises the property value up for me. That's about it. I mean, what the fuck else am I supposed to do in Oklahoma? I don't know. I don't know what you value in states. I don't know what the fuck is Oklahoma. Because they got that weird little strip that I bet you not a damn good thing goes on, and I stay the fuck away from there. Just like Florida's Panhandle, I ain't touching that shit. No, sir, not me. Let's go with NFL edge rushers.
Let me look at teams again.
Yep.
Let me stare at all these logos. Okay. Cooper DeJean is not a safety. He's just a lockdown corner.
Is that a Billie Jean remix?
Yeah. You haven't heard it?
Cooper DeJean
He's not a safety.
I fuck with
He's
that.
just a corner who will lock down your number one.
But
fuck. This is kind of tough.
Well, if you're as high on Trevenant as you should be, this should be easy. But whatever.
Give me. Oh, fuck. Because there's so many ways I can think about this of like, as a team's number one edge or just as an edge overall.
I don't know. Depends. I don't want to be privy to your thought process because that makes it easier for me.
Give me. You know what the problem is? I'm not actually. I really, as like last year, I usually just watch Cowboys games and some primetime games. So it's like I'm not as familiar with these other players' games like that. I kind of just want to go Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins.
Okay, he's pretty good.
I'm going to go with Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins.
Are you taking into account that Jalen Phillips is pretty good?
I don't know what you mean by pretty good.
He's like a good starting edge rusher in the league. Like Jalen Phillips.
I'm going to go with Jalen Phillips.
Okay. All right. Final question.
Yeah.
Pizza toppings. And I say this because I'm ordering pizza after the pod. I'm starving. So, pizza toppings.
Pizza toppings.
Pizza, motherfucking topping.
This might be a weird one, but this is what popped into my head first. I don't think we're gonna be. This has been the most disconnected wavelength. I think
we are not locked in.
I'm gonna go with jalapenos.
I can't tell if this is supposed to be a high number or a low number or a medium. None of this makes any fucking sense. I got it. Like, who doesn't like Trevenant? But you were also, I know you liked J.C. Latham, I thought, maybe. I don't know. So how do you feel about the J.C. Latham pick?
Do I answer that question?
No,
Yeah,
no.
I didn't think so.
Who doesn't like Trevenant, man? There's got to be like 7. Locking it in.
Final answer?
Final answer. 7.
It was 7.
What a big fucking read. All right, fantastic. Okay.
I did look at that Titans pick and went 7 overall.
That's what I said. Okay. I'm glad I was okay. So I was gonna say, there's no way you could be any lower on Trevenant than a 7. J.C. Latham was picked 7th overall. Like, okay, it's 7. It's 7. Gotta be 7. Okay. So talk me through Oklahoma being a 7 out of 10 state for you.
It's fucking north of Texas. That's sick.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean I don't think I would like a state that's got too much going on.
Okay. Fair.
I think I'd like a chiller state, but you can't be too chill and have absolutely nothing. And I know Oklahoma might be bordering on that, but I didn't think it was quite to like a Wyoming level.
OKC's got stuff going on.
Yeah.
So with Oklahoma, or excuse me, when I went with Louisiana, the reason why I went 6, right? The food, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The smell. There's not a state I like driving through less than Louisiana because it reeks of shit for like 3 hours. Like every time I go from Florida to Texas, I got to go through Louisiana, and I'm just smelling bayou for like 2.5, 3 hours of the car ride. I'm good. I'm good actually. Like I'll fly next time. I don't like it. So respect it. Food is great. Very nice sports fans. Great fans for loyal fans. Place reeks. Sorry, it reeks. Smells like shit. It smells bad. That's a big thing. Smell in general is a big thing, big detractor for me. If something smells awful, I'm gonna be very turned off to it. Louisiana, if it didn't smell bad, would be incredible. Easily one of the best states in the country. Unfortunately, it smells bad.
See, I don't have that good of a nose, so anytime I've driven through it, I don't think I've really clocked a smell.
I've got me a good schnoz. So
a real hound dog over there.
Yes, sir. It's top 3 time.
You're right.
Top 3 time.
Top 3 of the week. Desserts.
Dessert.
Be real with you, I actually don't really have anything. I mean, I've got one thing popped into my mind immediately, but I don't really have like a 3 set.
I have 3 set. I don't have any crazy wild takes here, though. I'm a very simple man when it comes to dessert. I believe the human body has developed a second stomach for dessert. At least mine has. Anyways, maybe I'm just not like y'all, but it does not matter how full I get off dinner. If somebody busts out a cake, I'm gonna get me a piece. May not be a huge piece depending on how much dinner I ate, but it's gonna be a piece nonetheless, and I'm finishing it. Ice cream. I'm eating a scoop at least. So, yeah, I'm not gonna spoil nothing here. I was about to say something else, and I was gonna be like,
I got my 1 and 2,
and I'm like, nope, I can't say that because that's gonna be on the board.
Okay, I think I got my 3.
I struggle to find another one, but I got it. So,
I'm not gonna be
go first?
too. Yeah, you go first. I'm not gonna be too specific on the specific flavors of things.
I'm loose on all 3 of these as well.
Okay.
So we're on the same page here. Number 3.
Fire away, Daddy.
In general, ice cream.
Oh, yep.
Ice cream, all reliable, real simple, real easy. You probably got some in your freezer. I know I do.
My go-to. Just gonna interject. My go-to Bluebell cookie 2-step, because cookies and cream and cookie dough are like what I usually debate over.
Oh, that's perfect. I gotta get me some of that because I'm with you there. Like in terms of flavors, I really like anything with brownie chunks in it. Guaranteed to go hard. Cookie dough, anything with cookie dough in it goes hard. Cookies and cream goes hard. Rocky Road is anything with like the chocolate fudge or caramel like in it somewhere is like that's gonna go hard. Like, you know what? I fucks with Neapolitan.
I didn't know what Neapolitan was for the longest time. I thought people were talking about a drink like a Cosmopolitan.
I fucks with Neapolitan.
Yeah.
I'll say it. I'm gonna say it, right? I'll say what people are too afraid. The people are too afraid to say. I fucks with Neapolitan. Some of my favorites, but in general, ice cream. Can't go wrong with ice cream. I don't think I've ever had an ice cream I didn't like. So
solid.
How about you, sir? Your number 3.
My number 3. This is a go-to. This is a quick buy at a store. This is something safe. Or you can make it real nice. I'm going to go with the cupcake.
Yes, sir.
I do like to do the break it in half, sandwich it.
See, I've never done that before, but I know a lot of folks do.
Once I did it, I was like, oh, this is the way.
Okay. I might have to do that next time.
Give it a shot. I forgot which. I think it was an actress who really popularized this, but shout out to her, probably. Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the cupcake.
Shout out Tina Fey. Once again, shout out Tina Fey. I don't know that it was her. I'm just saying that,
hey,
since we've already shouted out one actress today, shout out Tina Fey once again.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have anything specific on the cupcake, other than that, but just a nice cupcake.
I'm with you. Cupcakes are great, especially like my memories of cupcakes are like, in elementary school or whatever. You take that shit with you. And like my mom would make the cake that we did at home, and then she'd make the batch of cupcakes that I bring to school. So I get to eat cake at school, then I get to go home and I get to eat more cake for my birthday. That was always fun. So cupcakes, I fucks with them. My coworker bought me some cupcakes for my birthday. So shout out cupcakes.
Yeah, that's my number 3. Your number 2, sir.
This is the most loose one I've got. Anything hot with fruit. Like, I'm talking fresh baked apple pie, fresh baked peach cobbler, anything warm that's got fruit in it. I'm demolishing it.
Huh.
I'm tearing that shit up. Does not matter.
I haven't really tapped into that world.
It is heavenly. Heavenly. And you don't feel as bad about yourself because at least you're eating peaches or some shit. Pineapple upside down cake. You know what the fuck I'm saying? Like, I'm tearing it up. It's gone down the gullet. So, yeah, very loose. I gave a few examples, but like I said, anything hot with fruit, it's getting destroyed.
Hot and ready.
That's what I'm gonna be getting after the podcast. I don't got Domino's money. I got Little Caesars.
Yo, side note, I actually love Little Caesars. The food is not like the best or anything, but like per dollar, like food per dollar that you're getting, love it.
It's nice. Also, it never once promised you it was gonna taste good. It said it was hot and it was ready. And that is, is it hot? Is it ready? If you answered yes to both of those questions, you got what you fucking paid for.
Yep.
Stop bitching about it.
And honestly, I don't think the taste gap between it and a lot of the other like really popular fast pizza places, I don't think it's that big of a difference.
I think the crust is. I think the crust is a lot more cardboardy with Little
Caesars.
Like,
you're right there.
I get jaw fatigue eating Little Caesars.
You got it there. I don't really mind jaw fatigue though.
I do when I'm eating a lot. I eat a lot of pizza, right? If I'm eating pizza, I'm eating like 5+ slices.
That Jacob a munch.
By the time I get to the fifth slice, I'm in pain.
Damn, Daddy, you really scarfed it.
If it's Little Caesars, I'm in pain. So, I think the crust does definitely give it a degree of separation, not in a good way, but the actual pizza itself, it's fine. I'm not mad at it. Pardon me. Sir, you're number 2. Take the floor.
My number 2. This was my go-to for birthdays.
I'm going to order my pizza right now.
It's not quite a cake, but it's a cookie cake.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, I liked them double layered with frosting in the middle as well. That was my go-to as a kid growing up because my mom was a big baker back in the day. Less so now. She still dabbles every now and then, but man, a cookie cake back in the day. Very good. Cookie cake. Easy number 2. Nice big pieces of chocolate chip cookies.
I'm with you.
But yeah, that's really all I got to say for it. Your number 1, sir.
Number 1. My good man. Number 1. Sorry, let me tip my dasher real quick. One sec. We drum roll while I complete my
banana.
Oh damn, shawty! All right. My order's
Yes, I know what I'm doing with it.
All right. Number one. Forgive me if this impression is not perfect, but cheesecake.
We got the same number one, brother.
Sensational. So, let me tell you something about cheesecake.
We're locked in.
Let me tell you something about cheesecake.
Tell me something about it.
You take two things
Mm-hmm.
that a man cannot live without. That being cheese
Yep.
and cake.
Yes, sir.
You done throw them together.
Mm.
And
Yes, sir.
there is often fruit involved.
I like him with a little strawberry drizzle.
I like a little strawberry drizzle. I like a little chocolate.
Mm.
I like plain old regular ass cheesecake.
Preach, brother Jacob. Preach, my brother.
Do not care what is on it, what is in it.
Mm.
If it is labeled cheesecake, it is not leaving my sight.
I ain't never had a cheesecake and not have a good time.
I ain't never had a cheesecake and not had a smile on my face.
Cheesecake never hurt me. Cheesecake never lied to me.
And I never heard the cheesecake.
Oh, I know I did. I fucked up that cheesecake.
I'm not okay. Maybe I've been overindulged.
I dissolved that bitch in my stomach.
I'm very glad we've definitely been in lockstep this episode. I think for the most part.
Hey, this is a banger.
Even when we weren't on the wavelength where I was like, "What the fuck is this?" and I just guessed 7, and it was 7. We've been locked in. And you know what? I love it.
Put this as a Mount Rushmore episode.
Cheesecake. Sensational. That's all I have to say. Regarding cheesecake. Let them know.
I mean, you said everything. I joined in a little bit there. We're locked in with our number one. We can move on to what we've been on.
Sir, what you been on?
What the fuck have I been on?
See, I ain't been on a whole lot either.
So I started Sims 2 Castaway. Gonna be revaulting it. But I think it's gonna be too long. I'm gonna be playing it off stream.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start streaming I think it's called Captain America Super Soldier or something like that, the Wii Captain America game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stream that, make a revault on that as well while I do Sims 2 in the background, because that one's gonna take a while to play through. So I'll be cycling, I'll be doing those two. So I got the special edition of Freaks and Geeks in. So I'm going through that thing for the video that I've teased a long ass time ago. But we're getting to it. NFL Draft, was watching that, obviously.
I was watching that shit. I watched all 3 days, all 3 days.
I've been watching.
I never turn the draft off. I always finish the draft. Love it. My favorite TV event.
I think the only time I watch Mavs Clippers, whenever I get the chance, I'm able to watch a full game. We lose.
Uh-oh.
So I might stop watching. Like I don't know what to do right now. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've been on. Not much. What you been on, brother?
Been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Whenever she's here, been watching Buffy. I think we just finished season 2, episode 4 or 5. We might be on 5 right now. I'm not sure, or maybe we're on 6. I don't know. We're on season 2. So she's seen it all already, but I'm on season 2. She's just watching it with me, and I don't watch it without her. We also watched The Notebook the other night. It was my first time seeing it. I did cry at the end. Not the most adventurous movie ever. It was definitely very predictable, but with that being said, it still hit me where it hurts, and I still really liked it. And I was on that draft. Was on that NFL draft. Best believe it. I was counting down the days, the minutes, the hours, the seconds. I couldn't wait. I was fiending for it.
You never know what's gonna happen. You can watch so many mocks, see so many predictions. Who the fuck had Michael Penix at 8? Besides that one report you saw.
2 days prior to the draft. Yeah. Nobody mocked that. Nobody had that happen.
No.
Nobody even mocked Latham to the Titans. Latham was mocked to the Chargers. sometimes. Like people got real daring with it, like, oh, this is Harbaugh's kind of guy. They're gonna take Latham at 5 or whatever, play right tackle, and then Alt at 7 with the Titans. Like, you know, but very few people mock Latham in Tennessee. Um, but yeah, the draft was a lot of fun. Went to Dave and Buster's with a large group of people last night. Some of my girlfriend's friends, some of my friends, well, some friends that are my friends and my girlfriend's friends, and some of them were just my girlfriend. But had a good time. Had a good time at old Dave and Buster's.
Sweet.
Sweet.
I mean, I don't got anything else to add.
I don't know that I got nothing.
Then that's gonna do it for this week's episode of Avillion and Brayden Talks. Next week's episode, as always, is gonna be over on Avillion Talks, so go check that out. Subscribe to them. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, keep gaming.